Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Randomness of Wrestling. For those of you who don't know, the RoW is whenever I talk about anything that has happened in the world of wrestling. Could be past, present, future, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, ECW, WCW, anything. WWE or American wrestling, Japanese puroresu, Canadian wrestling, or even lucha libre. This week on the RoW, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about John Cena being sued. I want to talk about the Cyber Sunday, and I want to talk about a little bit about Batista. And I might throw in a few other things. Just stay tuned. The first thing I want to get to is the whole John Cena being sued by this rap group named M.O.P, which I think means Mouthy Oblivious Pissheads. They're trying to sue WWE and John Cena because they're using one little phrase into John Cena's theme music. That phrase being rapido. Now, that's not anything specific. That's just a small saying. And I think anybody who's trying to sue someone else for, one little saying, especially something as, vague as that, they're just trying to seek attention. They're trying to get money because they know they don't have talent. They don't have talent, so they try and make up for it by suing other companies, specifically WWE and John Cena, for using something that they've used at least once in one of their songs. This is kind of the same as though you were making a review about Lady and the Tramp, and Disney Studios decided to take your video off the internet because you said the words Lady and the Tramp, but you don't use their pictures, their videos, or anything related to the actual movie, except your own words. This is the same thing as that. It's not them saying rapido or whatever it is they're saying, and I think it's just pathetic that they're going in this direction trying to get this attention. Next thing I want to get to is Cyber Sunday. Now, overall, this pay-per-view was horrible. It wasn't good at all. Evan Bourne and Matt Hardy, they had a great match. It was the match of the night. And when you compare that to Batista and Chris Jericho or Jeff Hardy and Triple H, that's just bad. I mean, I don't want to sound cynical, but that's bad. When two ECW guys, ECW being the side product for WWE to put guys they don't know what to do with off to the side, when they have the best match of the night, you know it's bad. And it was a terrible pay-per-view, and it was definitely rigged. I read an article saying that WWE sources claimed that was legit, and that's kind of the same thing as Disney magazines saying Disney movies are great. You're not going to get a truthful statement by WWE.com. You won't. It's definitely rigged. And thanks to Cyber Sunday, we now have Batista as our new champion. And I hate this. I do not like Batista at all, and I think it's terrible that he's the new champion, and I hope the ratings go down to prove that. And on Monday Night Raw, he said that he was climbing and clawing his way to the top, more like whining and bitching. That's all he does backstage. When something isn't going his way, he complains about it. He complains to Triple H, who in turn says, hey, let's give this guy the belt so he won't leave and go to TNA. He isn't entertaining at all. He isn't great to watch. He isn't fun to watch. He's boring and bland. And that's all I can say about him. He squashes everyone he wrestles against and steals heat from every heel in the room, instantly making everything completely ineffective. And like I said before, all I have to say about Batista is fuck him. The next thing I want to get to are the WWE ratings. Now, their recent rating for Raw on wait a second here. On October 27th, 2008, was a 2.9, rounded up from 2.89. Now, I can bet that WWE is freaking out right about now. They're so concerned about the ratings that they're not taking the time to think of what they're doing. They're trying to get the immediate raise in ratings, and they're pretty much in a rating wars with themselves. And that's not a good thing, people. That's a bad thing. If you're going up against yourself, you're going to eventually put yourself out of business. They're not thinking about long term anymore. They're thinking about the here and now, how to get that 3.0 one more time, or 3.5 one more time before they're going out of business. Now, they are far away from ever going out of business. They don't have to worry about that right now. What they have to worry about is making new stars. Guys like Evan Bourne, guys like Gavin Spears and Jack Swagger, guys like Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody Rhodes, the younger guys who have so much talent that they can lead in a new generation. Stop relying on Triple H. Stop relying on Batista. Stop relying on the same old guys we've been watching for the last 5 years to 10 years. Nobody wants to see them anymore. Yeah, they're great sometimes, but it's time to start looking forward and start moving on. As soon as they recognize that, they'll be able to see a steady rise in the ratings. A newer generation is watching WWE. They want to watch the newer guys. Now, I don't want to make that sound like I'm dissing guys like Shawn Michaels or Undertaker, because those are two guys who honestly are great in the ring, and I will have no trouble watching them for the next 10 years, if that's possible for their bodies. But you also got to keep in mind that these newer generation of fans, they want to see the younger guys, and they need the younger guys to start getting all the fame. That way they have somebody to watch in the future. Undertaker won't be around forever, guys. Neither will Shawn Michaels. Eventually, guys like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and some other guys, CM Punk, Elijah Burke, and Kofi Kingston, they're going to end up becoming the next generation, the next legends of wrestling, if given the chance. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say guys like Shawn Michaels or Undertaker are bad in the ring or nobody wants to see them. I'm just saying that they need to start giving these younger guys, not Triple H, the chance to shine in the spotlight. Alright, one last thing I want to talk about, and that is the Ring of Honor. I just recently read that Gabe, the former booker of Ring of Honor, was recently released so that they can go in a new direction. They want to go into the more 70s styles with more submissions and less high spots. I kind of like that. I think Ring of Honor was just overfilled with spot monkeys, and while it was different, it was kind of hard to follow and just lose your immediate disbelief like wrestling should. And this owner, I can't remember his name, he claimed that the previous direction wasn't appealing anyone. And that's not why it wasn't appealing anyone. It wasn't the spots. It was that you couldn't see it. Nobody could watch Ring of Honor without having to buy DVDs or look up matches on the internet. They couldn't see it. And if you don't have an audience, you can't build. You can't build up your product. If McDonald's never appealed to many people and only stayed in one spot, they wouldn't have become as successful as they are. Now, that is a great comparison to Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor stays primarily in one little region, and thanks to that, not many people know who the hell they even are. That's not the best strategy if you want to build up your company. Now, I do like that they're going to get they're trying to get a TV deal, and I do respect the new direction, but give us a better reason, please. Alright, that's enough for this week's Randomness of Wrestling. Tune in next time. I'll probably be talking more about the lawsuit between Cena and M.O.P, as well as the new direction that Ring of Honor is trying to go in. Check out the Eagles Ring and check out my MySpace page. I'll post links somewhere around here, either in the info section or I'll post one of those annotations or whatever those things are called on this video. As with last week, I don't have a catchphrase to go out on, so I'll just leave out the way I do every week on my RoW. Fuck Batista.